Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello, my friends. This is Mercy. People in the hospital, we wish you well. You don't have to smoke cannabis to get the benefits from it. I make up a healing oil out of olive oil and variety of different cannabis plants. Thank you for watching the show.
Hi, welcome to Mercy TV, a production of PK. And if you want to see more of PK's work, stay tuned here to channel 23 if you're watching us in the Salem, Oregon metro area, or if you're watching us on YouTube through our Mercy Center TV channel. You can also look up PK's My Garden series for tips, tools, tricks, and other information about growing medical cannabis. Hi, I'm Paranormal, and along with Sonny and producer PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV, your source for news and information on the cannabis issue as it unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and around the world. Mercy TV is an action item of Mercy Center. Find out more about Mercy Center and other action items at mercycenters.org. Today, we're going to be talking about political action in general. As earlier we were discussing climate change, the current threats to FEMA, and all the work that they do, and all kinds of groups like that, people like that are looking at budget cuts due to the current political situation, if you will.
Well, Mercy Nation, you know, if you've watched the show over the years, you know, we are talking cannabis.
Well, not just the fact that cannabis is good,
for
safe,
all the conditions,
effective medicine for countless conditions.
We have to make sure our senators, our legislators, our doctors, all the people, your vote matters.
So whether the cannabis issue or other issues, as we were discussing, the action is the same. Contact your representative, make sure they know what your opinion is on the important issues, and find others to effectively communicate the same to your people in your area, not just your presidential folks, but your state and federal representatives and senators, your mayors, your
doctors,
your county commissioners, your
dog catcher. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Perry, when we got it, see, the law used to be, if you was using cannabis, you go to jail, you go to prison. Now it's legal. We use it
here in Oregon.
How many states though?
36 states we looked up.
A total of 24 states have some recreational laws, but I wouldn't say that it's legal, because there's certain parameters. Not everybody can grow, for example, and other things that make it not quite free, because...
Back to your neighbors. It's important to support your neighbors. If you have some plants growing, your neighbors, and they smelling, you smelling, everybody knows, hey, support your neighbors, help your neighbors, the medicine is good,
and safe. And so this disproves the basis of the cannabis prohibition, which is that marijuana is dangerous, it kills, which is not the case. And on top, marijuana, the prohibition is not just a lie, it's an onion of lies. It's that it kills and is dangerous, that it has no medical value, that it has no industrial value. that it causes cancer, that it makes you depressed, it makes you crazy, it makes you hurt people, it makes you hurt yourself.
How many names, Perry?
Oh, all the different names for it? Reefer, hooch,
people don't know,
pot, the devil's weed. I mean,
There's all kinds of names. The thing is this, it's a plant. And you can use the plant from the top of the bud to the roots. Like Pete was telling you, he throws it in, all the different plants, and that oil works. I got psoriasis, and I used to have what they call a plaque, and the plaque's pretty much gone. I still got a little bit, but and the arthritis. Everybody has all kinds of arthritises, and it helps, from the pills that people take and from the side effects of those pills that people get. And only the people that have these conditions that get those side effects, only the people know. The people in the nation knows. Oh yeah, the people that send Perry all these, Perry, he writes them. He puts them.
Yeah, sure, in emails and in our bulletin boards on our pages for the conditions for people in certain regions, whether it's states of the U.S. or other countries there, expressing information. They're not just their feelings, but their experiences, what's really happened with them, or the people that they're taking care of. I find a lot of interesting communications there by medical professionals. One page, we have a page I think set up for anorexia, where a person who was treating folks with anorexia was saying that, I understand the risks and so forth, but these people are dying, and anything to help save their lives, is what we're talking about here. And we read things like that, and you can't remain
the veterans
unchanged.
The veterans.
Excuse me, my friends. This law was passed in 1937. This is why we need you to write to your representatives and see about changing this law nationwide.
Call them, email, visit. They all have things, but also try to do so in numbers. Find others with the same, because that makes more of an impact than the individual.
Well, that's why Mercy has been on so long. We got so much help at the TV station. They get so much for helping, people in the hospital.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctors. They know. If you can't go, call us. I'll go to the doctor with you. We've talked to so many doctors. They know once we start explaining how you can use the medicine so many ways. And over the years, you learn how to use it. Whether it's a pancake, whether it's a brownie, whether it's a cookie, the gummies. People find out, that's, you learn what your body can tolerate, the way it breaks it down, because everybody metabolizes it different. Once you learn how much, what you need, man, then it works for you. And what times. Because some need a little more in the morning, some need a little more at night, and the indica or the sativa, because just because his needs a sativa in the morning, his needs an indica at night, it don't mean what I need. That is the way it works. Everybody got to find out what they need. My neighbor, they need both of them in the morning. Hey, back to your neighbor. How is your neighbor? You've been helping your neighbor? Everybody's neighbor, you need to take care of your neighbor. Look out for your neighbor. That's how we do it. We look out for our neighbor. Because the medicine, their condition, maybe they don't use medicine. Maybe they don't have a condition. It's all right. They need to be educated on it. You know, that's how we do it. That's how we change the law. You know, and it wasn't just in this neighborhood. It was in every neighborhood from the west to the east. You know, it just didn't happen today. It happened a long time ago. Oh, thank you, Dr. Levesque. You know, he hung his butt way out there when no other doctors were doing it. But he said, you know, I need your records, I need your records, I need your records, because I know this medicine is good and it helps for your condition and your condition and your condition. And this is how we're going to do it. And
So-
off to the Capitol we went.
And Dr. Levesque, he was a veteran from World War II and the fight for cannabis. So, you people, the veterans, thanks for your service.
Yes.
And, you know, we know a lot of you are having
PTSD. And that's why it's so important to keep everything cleaned up. You know, a lot of veterans are in wheelchairs and walkers and, you know.
artificial limbs.
Man, you know, you see stuff and you don't pick it up. They might be tripping and falling and, you know, that ain't cool. They don't want to get out because they can't get around. Well, no, man, keep everything cleaned up and then they can get around. They feel comfortable. You know, that's the good thing when they can get out and get around. Man, they protected us. You know, the veterans should feel comfortable that they can get out and walk around and not have no fear of tripping and stumbling and, you know, that's what's cool.
Okay, well, that's kind of granular as far as political action, I suppose. If you can get to the level where you're going around cleaning up, I mean, you contacted all your representatives.
Well, maybe they'll throw you some help too.
I mean, and we're talking again from president on down to dog catcher.
Well, that's another thing. The
And-
president did FEMA, you know.
And not only done that, but shared that contact with your friends
Back
and
to your
family.
senators and legislators, Perry.
To
Vote the right person into office.
start your network with your closest circle, and then build from there. And there's where you educate, you know, your again, your friends, your family, your doctor, your priest, your representatives, and again at all levels. And then you're able to either attend and contribute to town halls, or if there's not one happening, make it happen on whatever issue is the most important. And I guarantee you, if you go out there on the limb, you feel like with the cannabis issue that it's going to pay dividends, and then you really shouldn't have fear of repercussions from that. But with any issue, you're going to be kind of have to decide if you're going to do things solo, where you make that contact with your representatives, you educate them on things. If you can talk to others about that and do points and counterpoints, going back and forth with, again, the representative, you can change their mind. But if not, then you got to find a replacement for them, and even consider running for office yourself. You know.
So, well, like we're doing, like take the Bagman of Eugene. We started a television show, and we're telling you our knowledge and sharing our.
When it comes to contacting representatives,
Yeah.
finding out their opinion and letting you know about it, you can go back onto our Mercy Center TV YouTube channel and see plenty of episodes where we've done just that. So those are things you can do too as action items. It takes some organization, you know, but then you're getting in touch with folks like who are actually lobbying for the issue that you're concerned about, whether pro or con too. So
The
Just one
main
of
thing
the-
is the medicine works.
the main thing is get active and do something, whether it's behind the scenes and contacting people. And other contact points is letters to the editor, radio call-in talk shows. That's where to, you know, speak out there and let other people know that there's somebody with these opinions on these issues, not just cannabis, but FEMA or the climate change and things that are affected by these things too. So look at all your options and definitely do something. If you can get out and work with others, network, build organizations, help others to build organization, great. But if at the least, contact your representatives and share that contact your friends and family, build your network. You know, if it's just local, that's fine, but you'll find a lot more satisfaction in reaching out and building with others.
So people in the hospital, we wish you the best in getting better. You don't have to smoke cannabis to get the benefits of using the plant. You see these commercials where they're using the hemp plant in amazing things, and the cannabis plant. So use hemp as best as you can, medically or in building houses. They can make A to Z out of a hemp plant.
Well, and it's like the sciatica, cancer, Crohn's,
Carpal tunnel.
seizures. There's so many conditions that people have that we've had on these TV shows over the years, that people have testified how the cannabis has helped them, and the strains, whether it's a indica or a sativa, and how their body has metabolized it, and how many times they're using it, whether they're smoking it, whether they're eating it, whether they're rubbing it on, whether they're drinking it. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, if I can share with you how you're using it, the way you're using it, how many times you're using it, you know, and you're getting a better quality of life, and like in our glass man's case, his cancer, his brain cancer is going away. You know, doctor's saying, just come back and we'll talk. You know, I'll check it out. You know, you guys, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Lord. Every day, thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
You know, amen. You know, every day for this plant.
So, if you can, there's also, of course, social media, a great tool and detriment in many cases. And you can put the testimony out for that. In the case of cannabis, you know, your particular experience with your condition. And once you're out there, but once you posted that, you're likely to get contacted by others in that situation. There's a lot of people and groups out there on the internet that are coalescing around their particular situation. Where people are making oils, the folks that are looking for Canisol, a particular eye drop for glaucoma folks, to be, you know, that.
God, that's what we was talking about earlier, Perry. People,
granular. And
they're having such a hard time with their eyes.
But if you reach out, don't be afraid, and try to find others in the same situation, you're more likely to come up with folks to network with.
It's the satisfaction in knowing that there's other people that use the medicine and it works for them too. They just want to know how. You know, that's what we found out a long time ago. Other people they just want to know your knowledge so they can help their knowledge. We all build it together, and by working together, we seem to get better medicines. You know, better growth, better useful, you know. And man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, things like Charlotte's Web, which is a particular strain of cannabis that was helpful to a little girl who had seizures constantly. And that's just an example of how something is developed and shared, not just through the internet, but through the local cannabis undergrounds in some cases. And if you're in a state that has no law at all and you're left to the mercies of reefer madness based laws about pot and so forth, then you're really going to need some cannabis law reform. You're really going to want to have change there.
Well, and that's why people need to know. You know,
Cannabis is
it.
medicine.
And
It's
cannabis
safe.
is medicine, yeah.
Medicine, safe, effective, and all people, children, elderly, you know, the sick, the dying, the
You just
well,
ain't the animals anymore.
right? You know, and let it go. You know.
Well, excuse me. Before 1937, you could find products that had cannabis in it, and they were feeding the livestock the cannabis as well. So it's common sense. Like, thank the bagman, Eugene. It's no.
Well, and from a political standpoint, the benefit of ending cannabis prohibition is twofold. Not only will we get the benefits of medicine and industry and not losing
The environment.
you know, to the benefits of the environment and so forth, but we won't be wasting money and people. We won't have this expense. We won't have this terrible divide in our country where not just people who are pro or anti-pot, but there's people who can do whatever they want with cannabis or any other situation and have no worry about the law because it only applies to certain people, you know. And cannabis is such a example of a bad law, deliberately bad law, that's, you know, selectively applied. It defines class in America. Who can smoke pot, you know, the rank of policeman on up, and who can't? You know, whose life is ruined, who could get killed for smoking
And the thing
pot.
is, it's good for the water, it's good for the air.
That's wrong. That's just fucking
We
wrong.
can show all
Sorry.
along.
Oh, we gotta
and it don't matter whether it's called hemp, cannabis. I mean, all the different names that they've changed. All we know is that it's good once you.
All we
plant
know is that they used a deliberately pejorative word in the official government proceedings, like marijuana,
Yeah.
instead
Or
of its
marijuana.
legal, you know, technical name, cannabis.
marijuana, hemp.
I mean, that wasn't an
the
accident,
strain,
folks. So,
indica, sativa, you know. All you know is you got cancer. You found a plant, and you can use this plant, and you can cook it, you can drink it, and you can rub it on. And there's a lot of different ways you can take that plant.
excuse me.
You know, there's a lot of different ways. But what's important is to know that your legislator, your senator, and your doctor,
All your representatives,
they know
president to
that
doctor.
you're using it. You're using it.
Well, it works, and you're going to vote accordingly.
And-
And they better pass bills accordingly.
And your mayor,
Then you go to work on other officials. Get to
You
the
know.
media. Talk to the media.
if you need help,
Letters to the editor.
send Perry
Talk to
email,
others.
or, you know, give Pete a call. 503-363.
3-45-88.
You know,
Or visit the website, mercycenters.org.
if you need somebody to go to the doctor with you, I'll go to the doctor with you. You know, that's how you do it. Get in touch with Perry, get in touch with Pete. You know, this is what we can do. You know,
And
But what
thanks
you
for-
can do is register, vote, and get everyone you know to do so also. What else?
Get in touch with your local media, like CC Media, who hosts our program. Henry Turner wrote the opening song to this show. Modern medication doesn't work for me, but cannabis does.
and he's clear down in Louisiana.
And get with your local program. Support your local program. if you're here in Oregon, not only can you be a patient, but the patient can designate someone to be a cardholder or a caregiver, and that person can go to the stores for them, can process the medicine for them as well. Also, you can be a grower for somebody here in Oregon with a simple filling out of a form by the patient there. So we need growers, we need caregivers desperately here in Oregon, and I'm sure in other states where they have that option. So check out your local program, support it any way you can, whether legislatively or so forth. And if you don't have the program in your state yet, work with the organizations that are trying to get change like that. Organizations such as Normal, MPP, Drug Sense, and others of that ilk, if you catch my drift.
Well, the main thing is your quality of life is better, your energy is better. You know, all these things we know is happening when you're using the cannabis. And, you know, when you know that you had cancer yesterday and today you don't have cancer, and you're eating it and you're smoking it and you're rubbing it on and you're drinking it, and wow, the cannabis is working, you know. In Rick's case, he used some RSO too. RSO on top of it, you know. So it ain't like you're using one thing or one little piece. You're using everything. You know, it's all medicine. You know, it's all medicine. It just comes from one plant. You know, it's just a different kind of plant. You know, but it's all the same plant, just different strains.
I think that's about all we have time for.
Well, we're at 26, 30 seconds. We're 30.
So about a minute and a half.
Yeah. So, thanks for Dr. Beck.
Yeah.
Thanks for Nurse Ed.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
Nurse Ed.
The veterans.
Dan, the
Thanks to the veterans
bagman
for
of
serving.
Eugene.
Yes.
Anthony Taylor. So, thank you for Capital City Media for hosting.
Yes. And all the people that help. You know,
So, over the years.
we're so thankful. You know.
Hey, have fun. Go fly a kite on a beautiful day and enjoy life.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Mercy TV. Bring a friend. Bring an enemy. What the heck?
Everybody be safe.
Thank you, my friends. Take care. And God made cannabis.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
For
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.